thank you all for coming. It's really a pleasure for me to get to introduce Ashley. Ashley Ward is one of our graduate students, and welcome to her mother for coming. And Ashley came to us from Birmingham Southern, where she got her BS degree in biology. She's the daughter of Dr. Carlton Ward from the drama department. And while she's been here, she's worked on several different projects. She worked with soon-to-be Dr. Mark Haygood, who was finishing up his doctorate in osteopathic medicine, on a fish parasite project. And then shortly thereafter, she started working on a master's degree project. And she went through a couple of different projects that, because it's so difficult to grow these parasites, that we had to change. Not her fault, it's just difficult to work with some of the parasites. So we settled on a project, Effects of Photodynamic Dyes, on representing gram-positive and on representative gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. And she just would not give up. She kept working at it and working at it and worked through all of the problems that happen when you do research. So many of you undergraduates seem to think that research works the first time you go in there. And I think Ashley can vouch for it. It never works the first time you get into the laboratory. It takes a little time. So I'm very pleased that she was able to work through all of this and has a very nice story to tell here. She's been able to maintain a great 4.0 GPA while here at Jacksonville State University. I have permission to say that. So. But I just want to welcome her and thank you for coming.
All right. Well, my name is actually Linda Paternal Weiss. And as Dr. Blair said, I will be presenting my master's thesis today entitled Effects of Photodynamic Dyes on Representative Gram-Positive and Gram-Negative Bacteria. I'm going to start with a brief overview of what I'm going to be discussing with you today. I'm going to be going over a background of my project, going over what photodynamic therapy is, the different pathogens that it targets, specifically a dye called Floxin B, and then I will conclude with my hypotheses. I will then go over the study methods that I use to conduct my research and collect my statistics, tell you what I interpreted and found, and then briefly go over some future studies with this photodynamic therapy. This is an outline of the background information that I will be presenting to you today. I will go over 4 bacterial strains. They're Staphylococcus aureus, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Escherichia coli, and Bacillus thuringiensis. I will then go over their medical, environmental, and economic impact that is continually increasing on our society today. I will then propose an intriguing new or rediscovered area of treatment, photodynamic therapy. I will then specifically cover 2 dyes that are approved for human contact, called Floxin B and Rose Bangle, and then conclude with my hypotheses. The first pathogen I am going to cover with you today is Staphylococcus aureus. I'm sure that a lot of you have heard of it recently due to media attention. It is very widespread in the population. It is found typically on the surfaces of 30 to 50% of us. And it is a gram-positive facultative anaerobe, meaning that while it is found on the mucosal membranes of our body, skin, and even our clothing, it can go into systemic infection. For example, the bloodstream. To the left is a micrograph of Staphylococcus aureus, and then to the right is a picture of systemic Staphylococcus aureus in the blood. And then the bottom picture is of a surface infection, known as MRSA, or methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, that is typically found in hospitals, or was. The other gram-positive pathogen that I will be discussing with you is Bacillus thuringiensis. It is not typically pathogenic to humans at levels that naturally occur in the environment. It is found widely dispersed in the soil. There are 2 forms that is extremely pathogenic to insects, plant pathogens, and even some yeasts. The top picture is a vegetative form, and the picture to the right is a sporulated form. The picture below is of the looper caterpillar that targets some cultivated crops, and it is killed by the vegetative form. And then to the left is, or excuse me, to the right is C. elegans, and it is targeted by the sporulated form. Now on to non-gram negatives. Pseudomonas aeruginosa is maybe not a typical pathogen that we've heard of. It is not as widely distributed as Staphylococcus aureus. However, it is also becoming increasingly resistant to typical or standard antibiotic therapies. It is a gram-negative, rod-shaped aerobic organism, and it is typically opportunistic, meaning that it will target small children whose immune systems have not developed completely, and also the immunocompromised. It also targets the respiratory mucosal membranes, the digestive system, and the urinary tracts. This organism was first discovered on battlefields and in surgical incisions in the 19th century, and it was characterized by a kind of greenish, bluish pus and very sweet-smelling odor. The final gram-negative that I want to discuss today is the Escherichia coli. This is also one that you are most likely familiar with. It is a facultative aerobe, but is typically found in our gastrointestinal tract, where it is part of the natural microflora. However, it can become an opportunistic pathogen if it is located elsewhere on our bodies, such as the urinary tract, or even different parts of the digestive system. The strain that you all are most probably familiar with is the coli 0157H7. It has been found in uncooked meat, and it causes gastroenteritis, and recently led to the recall of the spinach and other assorted crops due to the manure treatment of the fields. Okay, so to conclude with some of the increasing resistance and increasing impact on our society. The top map of the United States, and I'm sorry if you can't read these statistics, is a report of the regions of the United States of outpatient occurrences of MRSA and inpatient occurrences of MRSA from 1998 to 2005. And unfortunately, what you can't see from here is that these numbers are increasingly becoming the same, meaning that inpatient numbers used to be quite higher than they were in the community, and that is no longer the case. To the left, you see a picture of a young man named Ricky Linetti. He was a high school football player, contracted MRSA, probably close quarters in the locker room, died from it a week later. His mother started a prevention and awareness program for this disease. It is increasingly being found in the schools, athletic programs, and correctional facilities. The picture of the United States below is of E. coli outbreaks reported as of October 2007 to the CDC. And then these are pictures of sorted fields and beef that have been contaminated